Madam President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to address this 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly under the theme, Better Together, 80 years and more for peace, development, and human rights. This milestone stands as a testament to the United Nations' extraordinary legacy of fostering peace, advancing sustainable development, and championing human dignity. It affirms humanity's enduring journey to build a world where every generation can flourish, where nations rise above division to resolve their differences with wisdom, and where the pursuit of justice and harmony binds us as a one global community. Malawi commits to strengthening multilateralism to ensure a prosperous, equitable, and secure world for current and future generations. Madam President, the theme, Better Together, aligns closely with Malawi's foreign policy, our blueprint for advancing national interests through economic diplomacy, protection of sovereignty, and global cooperation. Anchored in the Malawi 2063, our long-term vision, we aspire to become a self-reliant, industrialized, middle-income nation by 2063, driven by agriculture, tourism, mining, and manufacturing. Achieving this goal demands both unwavering national commitment and active engagement with the global community in a peaceful world. While sovereignty remains the cornerstone of our identity to ensure the protection of territorial integrity and natural resources, our policy equally recognizes that global collaboration is essential. In this spirit, Malawi will continue to uphold the principles of the UN Charter, promote good neighborliness, and respect the sovereign equality of all states to advance peaceful coexistence and regional, continental, and global stability. Madam President, building on our unwavering commitment to sovereignty and collaborative partnerships, the Republic of Malawi firmly acknowledges that peace and security serve as fundamental pillars for sustainable development. Guided by the principle of Ubuntu and recognizing our shared humanity, the Republic of Malawi has consistently demonstrated her dedication to international peace and contributing a significant number of troops and police personnel to various United Nations missions across the globe. The Republic of Malawi is resolute in its commitment to preventive diplomacy and actively promoting dialogue, impartiality, and effective conflict resolution as essential strategies for fostering stability. This commitment is reflected in our active engagement and unwavering support for peace initiatives led by the United Nations, African Union, and the Southern African Development Community. We believe that collaborative efforts are essential in addressing multifaceted challenges that threaten global peace and the rules-based order. Furthermore, it is important to highlight the significant strides that the Republic of Malawi has made towards promoting participation of women in peacekeeping operations. The Republic of Malawi actively prioritizes the deployment of female peacekeepers in operational roles, recognizing their unique ability to connect with and address the specific needs and experiences of women in conflict zones. This initiative not only empowers female personnel, but also enriches the overall effectiveness of our peacekeeping efforts by fostering a deeper understanding of the complexities surrounding gender issues in these environments. On that note, Madam President, I'm pleased to report that the positive outcomes of this approach are becoming increasingly evident. The inclusion of women in our peacekeeping forces has proven beneficial not just for the missions themselves, but also for the communities we serve. Furthermore, I'm proud to say that Malawi stands among the nations that have registered significant strides towards gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. In this regard, I would like to reiterate the government of Malawi's commitment to the promotion of women's participation in all spheres of life at the highest levels possible. We in Malawi believe that no meaningful socioeconomic progress can happen when half of the population is left behind. Our conviction to gender equality and women empowerment is driven by the recognition that women and girls are the bedrock on which social progress is based. It is for this reason that Malawi supports the proposal to consider electing a female United Nations Secretary General. At this juncture, let me express gratitude to all cooperating partners, including the United Nations, who have supported our efforts and initiatives on women empowerment, helping us to end child marriages, to reduce early pregnancies, to increase school completion rates for girls, and to ensure that increasing numbers of women participate meaningfully in our nation's affairs. Madam President, humanity's progress is inseparable from global peace and security, for true stability can only be achieved when no one is left behind. Yet we have fallen short in narrowing inequality as the gap between rich and poor nations continues to widen, and developing countries like Malawi struggle with limited fiscal space, limited technology transfer, low productivity, and limited participation in global trade. Last year, we adopted the Pact of the Future, reaffirming our collective commitment to inclusive, resilient, and sustainable global governance and development. The Republic of Malawi, therefore, calls on the international community to foster an environment that supports inclusive growth, ensuring that its benefits reach the most vulnerable. To realize this vision, we must strengthen trade and investment as engines of prosperity and harness the transformative potential of science, technology, artificial intelligence, and private sector development for national and global development. Madam President, climate change stands as the most critical existential threat of our era, with its adverse effects disproportionately impacting developing nations like Malawi. Despite contributing minimally to global greenhouse gas emissions, the Republic of Malawi endures some of the most severe consequences of climate change. The increasing frequency and intensity of severe droughts, catastrophic floods, and destructive cyclones jeopardize food security by disrupting agricultural production, displacing vulnerable communities, and threatening hard-won developmental advancements. The Republic of Malawi has lived with this reality. Erratic weather patterns threaten our agricultural backbone, pushing vulnerable communities into food insecurity and economic despair, conditions that are ripe for discord. It is therefore important that our discussion on peace must be intrinsically linked to climate resilience, sustainable agriculture, and food sovereignty. Sovereignty, just like peace, is threatened by food insecurity. We therefore call for increased investment in early warning systems, climate-smart agriculture, and social safety nets. A world that is food secure is a world more peaceful. Considering these challenges, Madam President, the Republic of Malawi urgently calls for bold and accelerated climate action that includes the full and effective implementation of the Paris Agreement. This involves not only enhanced commitments to reduce emissions, but also significant scaling up of financial resources dedicated to climate adaptation, addressing loss and damage, and ensuring equitable access to sustainable technologies. The Republic of Malawi firmly believes that only through a collective sense of responsibility and international solidarity can we protect our planet and provide a sustainable future for our generations to come. Beyond various agreements and boardroom meetings, time for action is now. We must act decisively to safeguard both our environment and the livelihoods of those most at risk. Madam President, the global community also needs to work together to address public health issues. My delegation, therefore, applauds your office for the efforts that led to the adoption of the political declaration on the prevention and control of non-communicable diseases and the promotion of mental health and well-being. No nation has been spared from the impact of these two health issues, whose causes are numerous. The response to these issues requires concerted efforts and collaboration. It is, therefore, rather disheartening that the political declaration faced many hurdles during the negotiation process. My delegation wishes to appeal for shared commitment to address the issues, and indeed all other emerging public health issues. Madam President, in this digital age, artificial intelligence presents both unprecedented opportunities and profound challenges. If harnessed responsibly, AI can accelerate development, improve health and education, and unlock economic growth. Yet, without clear governance, it risks deepening inequalities and undermining security. We therefore call for a global framework that ensures AI is ethical, inclusive, and accessible to all nations, enabling it to serve as a force for development rather than division. The Republic of Malawi is optimistic that AI will usher in a new era of enhanced productivity for its citizens, helping to propel the country's development trajectory. Madam President, let me take this opportunity to express my gratitude to your office for convening a high-level plenary meeting to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the World Programme of Action for Youth. The youth make up a large proportion of the population of Malawi and indeed in Africa. They are an indispensable force for sustainable development. They are leaders, major actors and beneficiaries of investments and creators of wealth for today and tomorrow. It is for this reason that the government of Malawi developed the 2023-2028 National Youth Policy to demonstrate its commitment to place young people at the center of the national development agenda and to undertake reforms which support effective engagement of youth in policy development, implementation, and monitoring in all sectors. Two notable areas that the Republic of Malawi has proudly championed in relation to youth and development is the Youth Peace and Security Agenda and Youth Innovation and Entrepreneurship. To that end, we are investing in education, vocational training, and meaningful political and economic participation of our youth. We have an inclusive national peace architecture that enables women and youth to participate as negotiators, mediators, and community leaders. We have also created a youth innovation fund that supports youth innovators and entrepreneurs to realize their dreams. We therefore urge the international community to create concrete pathways for youth inclusion in political and economic decision-making processes. Let us invest in their potential, not just fear their energy. To that end, the Republic of Malawi calls for investing for peace through a dedicated funding for youth-led peace building. Madam President, in closing, the Republic of Malawi reaffirms its unwavering commitment to multilateralism and to the central role of the United Nations in addressing the pressing challenges of our time. But let us be clear, noble mandates alone will not deliver results unless they are matched by the necessary resources, fairly allocated and predictably provided. Let us match our ambition with the resources required to deliver. Let us ensure fairness to those who contribute to the work of the United Nations. Let us pursue reforms that strengthen accountability and inclusivity. And let us build an organization that reflects the diversity of our membership and the hopes of our people. In this regard, Madam President, I would like to inform this Assembly that the Republic of Malawi remains resolute in her advocacy for equitable representation in the United Nations Security Council. This crucial reform is essential as it will ensure that diverse voices of capable nations are heard and considered in the decision-making processes that impact not just specific regions, such as the global north or global south, but the entire world. By fostering a more inclusive dialogue, we can collectively address pressing global challenges and promote a more just and balanced approach to international governance. No other time is suitable for this reform like now. Madam President, as we look beyond 80 years, Malawi envisions a revitalized United Nations, one that is agile, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of developing nations. The challenges of climate change, inequality, and digital transformation demand renewed collective action. In the spirit of better together, we call for a strengthened multilateral system that prioritizes peace, sustainable development, and human rights, ensuring a thriving planet for our children and grandchildren. Malawi stands ready to contribute to this shared vision, guided by our foreign policy and enduring principles of the United Nations. I thank you all.
I thank the Chair of Delegation of Malawi. I now give the floor to His Excellency Lok Bahadur Thapa, Chair of Delegation of Nepal.
Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it is my honor to address this august assembly. At the outset, allow me to extend my warm greetings from Nepal, the land of Sagarmatha, that is Mount Everest, the highest mountains in the world, and the birthplace of Lord Buddha, the apostle of peace and compassion. I congratulate Her Excellency Annalena Baerbock on her elections as the President of